F. Austin and Coach Clint Conque to the stage, who begins his third season with the Lumberjacks. Joining Coach Conque today are junior defensive lineman John Franklin, a preseason first-team all-conference pick, and senior defensive back Patrick Martin, a second-team all-conference selection. We'd also like to acknowledge that the SFA SID RAN champion is here to help you with any interview requests you may have. At this time, Coach Conque, if you'd like to give an opening statement about the upcoming season.
Sure. Good to be here. Appreciate the media sticking around this afternoon. It was great to see so many of you today covering our conference. Excited about the upcoming season. Certainly challenges within our program, as a lot of people have. Question marks and so forth to answer, but we feel like we've had an outstanding summer. Investment and the commitment level has been very, very high, and certainly we do return some key players, but there's also some opportunities for new people and young people and redshirt players and so forth to step up. But looking forward to the opportunity to coach this team and to get this team prepared for the upcoming season.
John, if you'd like to share some thoughts about the upcoming season.
We're just very excited, man, just to show everybody how hard we've been working, our dedication, how our different mindsets from last year, how we're just trying to finish hard from how we did last year and just get the job done.
I'm thankful for this opportunity, and we're excited for this season. We've been working hard in the summer and ready to see what these young guys have to offer.
Okay, we do have wireless mics on the floor, so if you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get the microphone over to you. And please say your name and your news agency.
Yeah, Coach, this is Kevin Gore with Nacogdoches. Maybe it's your third year, and third years are different, obviously, than first. And when you came in and had, when they dismissed JC and brought you in, so the relevance of a third year compared to the first and the second, in your mind?
Well, I'd like to go back to that first year. We were an NCAA playoff team. But, just kind of looking at that short history, we've been in East Texas for about 2.5 years as a staff, getting the players to buy in. We inherited, really about 5 or 6 just really key seniors in 2014, and that group really propelled us to the playoffs. We came into last season with a lot of energy and emotion and expectations, and got off to a very difficult start. I'm proud of the way the young people held together and our coaches held the team together, and we were able to finish in a more positive way. But I think what you'll see with this 2015 version is, John was in our first recruiting class. Patrick is a holdover from the previous staff and has been an integral part of our successes and our football program for now, his 5th year. But I think you'll see, physically and athletically, the type of profiles that we've tried to identify in recruiting. I'm a big player development guy. I mean, we're going to have 20 transfers on our roster out of 80 kids. That's not, in this league, that's not a real high percentage. But I think, you'll see more of our younger players that have been here for 2 or 3 years making contributions, and even some of the true freshmen that are coming in. But I think the biggest thing that you'll see, Kevin, is a little bit longer body types and a little bit more athleticism than what we've had the 2 previous years. We still have a lot of question marks. We did graduate some, very, very experienced players the last couple of years, and obviously young people are going to have to step up.
And maybe this question for Franklin, as far as he was part of your first recruiting class. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Coach?
Yes.
Maybe just a comment to him about being in the first recruiting class, seeing some success, and then seeing some struggles, and what you want to, just how important it is for you to be a player to where the program can really flourish and maybe get back on track and be consistent.
I try to lead by example, whether it be in the weight room or on the field running. Ishmael Miles was the reason why, I've done pretty good. I've just learned from him, and he's really helped me. So I'm trying to be the leader to the young guys and show them how he showed me, basically.
I guess one more from me, Patrick. Maybe you were the holdover from JC and class. Maybe just talk about how important it is for you to be a leader on the team and be an upperclassman on the team, being that your time's kind of limited.
It's very important seeing the fact that this season my days are numbered now. I have never been in this position before, so I haven't taken it more seriously. So I have to put that point in mind, you know what I'm saying, in our younger teammates, just to get them to realize how serious you have to take it, because it can all be over so quickly. So you just got to give it all you got while you can, and, give it all to the team, buy in.
Clint, Alex Hickey, Lake Charles American Press. John up there next to you is one of a pretty stout group of all-conference defensive linemen. But there's several positions in this league that are pretty deep. I guess what, as a coach, as you look around the league, what positions or position in particular really stands out to you as being pretty stacked league-wide?
Well, I think every year you look around the league, we're always going to have outstanding running backs. Cade Harrington, obviously, is as good as it gets in our league. Fortunately, we didn't play him last year, and next year we don't. This coming year we don't have to play him, and then they come on the schedule 2017, and he'll be gone. So we're excited about that. But everybody has quality running backs. But I think you hit it, Alex. It's the defensive front. You look at McNeese. You look at Sam Houston. Obviously, Southeastern has bolstered their defensive front. I think in their front three, 2 Southeastern Conference transfers, and 7 of their top 9 guys are JC or 4-year transfers. So UCA has been strong for years on the front 4. So I think you look across the league, and the defensive fronts is to me what is so dynamic in this league. And one of the question marks we have is the replacement of 3 offensive linemen that graduated. 2 signed pro contracts, and 3 of them, 3 of our seniors were starters up there. So we feel like we've got the right personnel in place up front with our first 5. We just don't have quite the experience that the guys that just graduated have. But so those guys are going to be challenged. Our young offensive linemen are going to be challenged with the quality of players that we have in this league on the defensive front. You mentioned John. John is really starting to just really learn the game, and it's really exciting for me to see big, strong, athletic young man. He's he was 280 when he got here. He might be about 290 right now, all the eating we've done. But he's long and athletic and powerful, and he's got a very, very bright future. And I think the light's starting to come on for John. And he finished the year the right way, and I think that you can put him in that conversation as some of the top defensive players up front in our conference. But it's frightening to think about some of the players that are playing up front in our conference.
Coach, this is PT with Hanson Broadcasting.
Yes, sir.
Last year your first year there, you got to recruit. You came in, you had to hit it strong. You had to get there, I think, December and January, and you hit the road, and you had good success recruiting,
Right.
and you had a good season. This year, how does your recruiting class stand, and how much are they going to help you or be in debt?
Yeah. We feel like that these last 2 recruiting cycles, we've had a full year to evaluate and recruit, bring them through camps and so forth. So we think that, the 2015 signing class is going to start to make more of an impact in our program. And then certainly there's, we feel like 6 or 8 young players that have been on campus all summer that have shown some potential to be able to help us this year. A couple of 6'3" wide receivers, a couple of interior defensive linemen, possibly a running back. We feel like we recruited well at running back. So we do feel like that there's, 6 or 8 young people that are in this 2016 recruiting class that are going to be able to make it, and maybe more, There's a couple of corners that we signed out of East Texas, one out of Nacogdoches High School, 2 kids that can really, really run, and we think that they've got an opportunity to help us someplace. So you'll see 6 or 8 of our signing class probably make an impact this year.
Coach, considering how much offense you got back, you got, I guess, 2 defensive players up there, but I know you're really jazzed up about your O this year with all the guys and the 95% of production. Maybe just talk to us about how excited you are to have so much back, and then you got a new OC in Croton.
Right. As I mentioned, the 3 starters that we lost were offensive linemen, so we have to replace those guys. But as Kevin alluded to, all of our receivers that are back that started 6 or more games, all of our quarterbacks, all of our running backs, our tight ends. So we're really excited about our skill sets, and then the ability to possibly add a running back and a couple of receivers to that mix. We think we've got, if we can stay healthy, which was an issue last year, the makings of an opportunity to have a pretty good offensive football team. We did lose 1 staff member. I'm very pleased that going into our 3rd year, we've been able to keep our staff intact, with the exception of one of our staff members. Our offensive coordinator left to go to Louisiana Monroe as the offensive coordinator, and we were able to hire Gary Croton. Gary's a very experienced football coach. People here in Louisiana will remember him as the offensive coordinator at LSU when they won their last national championship. But he's also been a head coach at Louisiana Tech and BYU, and OC at Oregon and Maryland, and I can't keep up with his resume. But we did spend 4 years together in Ruston, and he actually had called me to recommend somebody else for the position. And as we got to talking, we kind of found some common ground, and he's in East Texas now, and has added a lot of energy and juice to our tempo and some of our concepts. And certainly he's been very good for Zach at the quarterback position, and we have some young quarterbacks that we're developing, and he brings a lot of experience there. So our skill guys have to produce and continue to improve, Kevin. We do return 2 starters, 3-year starters on the offensive line, but we're also breaking in 3 new permanent starters, and those young people are going to have to, step up. The ability's there, just got to get the experience and the chemistry right.
Clint, this league is full of young assistant coaches who are kind of working their way up the ladder. To land somebody with Gary Croton's experience on your staff, just how unusual of a feat do you think that is to get somebody who's been at LSU, been in the NFL, he's been all over the place?
Well, we're friends, Alex. Well, I think, Gary's a couple of years older than I am, but, you get to a point in your life where being around, the right type of people, the right type of mindset, people you've worked with in the past. Gary's had some opportunities, even since he's been at Stephen F. Austin, in 6 or 7 months to explore. But he's excited about being in East Texas. His family's moved, and his son will be starting high school. His daughter's in high school, and obviously we feel like it's a real positive injection of energy and experience into our coaching staff. I know as a head coach, and it's my 17th year, having another former head coach in the meeting room to be able to bounce ideas off of, and someone that shares similar philosophies as you do of how to run a program. And Gary's always kind of been a mentor to me. And when he became the head coach at Louisiana Tech, he could have replaced me. We were an assistant together for just 1 year, then he was promoted to head coach, and I was always grateful that he allowed me to stay. And then I became the offensive coordinator, and eventually, but just at a time in his life and my life when the opportunity presented itself, and all the stars kind of lined up, and he's added a lot to our staff room, and certainly a lot of energy, you know, to our offensive players.
Coach, you continue to have success everywhere you've been, and you're a good speaker. You travel. You get a lot of exposure for SFA. You go to
Thank
these
you.
banquets. You go to these Lumberjack kickoffs at the Chamber of Commerce. I keep up with you.
I'll be at one tomorrow night somewhere.
I don't know how you keep your weight down, but they also you even make some radio and TV and appearances, so you get SFA out there.
Right.
But one of the things I'm really impressed with is your preseason, like right now, when you're getting ready for football, that you'll scrimmage at a school in East Texas.
Right.
Your first year there, I think you was in Lufkin. I was talking to you SID, and then I think you went to Longview.
Right.
Then the next year you went to Marshall, and I don't know if you remember my mug shot, and you also told me you was going to go to Carthage University.
Yep, well, you're exactly right. We think that's an important part of our program. It's a great experience for these guys, particularly our young players, maybe red shirts that have never traveled with us before. And it's an opportunity for us to get our brand out into the East Texas community. We would have gone to Carthage this year, but they were changing their turf out, but we have plans to go to Carthage next April. So it's an opportunity for us to travel, teach our young people how we travel, and certainly it's very good for recruiting because we're able to get our brand in the East Texas area. We are trying to look at some venues closer to Houston because, you know, Patrick's from the Houston area, probably a third of our football team's from Houston, so we definitely want to try to get our brand out throughout the eastern side of Texas as much as possible. We also have plans to go to White House, a little bit closer to the Dallas area, and we're able to you know, visit with high school coaches and potential recruits. So we think that's a big part of our program in the off season, is being able to travel to a different venue and bring our program on the road. Thank you for those nice compliments. I'm trying to lose weight right now, though. So.
Question for John. You know, a lot of people don't know this. You know, your high school career, you went through your entire high school career and didn't win a single game. You know, not saying anything but with you guys, but with that, and then here you are, you know, first team all-conference, preseason, you know, All-American. What did you learn from that? Do you think it carried a little bit of a chip on your shoulder?
I think I play every day with a chip on my shoulder because, I mean, not winning the games, you know, and it was my fault partially because I wasn't, you know, the hardest worker. But, you know, I feel like lately I've been showing that I've improved and become better. Like I said, Ishmael Miles is the reason, you know, I've tried so hard. He pushed me like any other, and every day I just try and, now that I know how to win, I try to show these young guys this is what it takes to win. And that's what's important because I'll be gone in 2 years and then, you know, that's who's there. So I try and make sure that I focus only on the young guys and make sure I encourage everybody on the team to become their best.
And then Pat, for you, going in, you know, fourth year as a starter, really kind of been an anchor in that defensive secondary for SFA, you know, through pre-Coach Conque and now with Coach Conque. What do you want your legacy to be at SFA, and what are you trying to pass on to these younger guys?
Well, I just want the legacy to be for us to have a winning season, winning conference. You know, this is a tough conference. I mean, everybody know about the Sams, the Southeast, and everybody, how tough they are. But we just want to be known as the team to never give up. You know, just to give everything we got every second, no matter the score. And I just want to pass that on for them to never give up, just keep fighting. And that's what we're working so hard for right now. You know, blood, sweat, and tears, my brothers. That's exactly why we're working hard right now. Just do what we got to do to win.
And then finally, Pat, I know for last year's seniors how difficult it was at NRG. You know, you get done with the game, and they went through their entire career without beating Sam.
Right.
How much of a focus, you know, is that for you guys now, knowing this is your last shot against your in-state rivals?
It's very important. It's very important because it's not even just important to us, but to the whole community. And we know that not just on that game, it's only important to us, but to everybody. It's a very important game. That means a lot to us. it means a lot to us that we have to win that game. Not only that game in general, but every game. But yeah.
Any other questions for Coach or the student athletes?
Well, you guys know that have been following me for a few years. I think this is my 11th or 12th, Tom, media days, and boy, it's good to be seen. If I didn't get a little prophetic here, I always seem to have something. First of all, I want to compliment the commissioner. This event continues to get bigger and better every year, and certainly it's because of the media and the interest in our programs, and certainly the quality of play that we've seen this conference have for a long, long period of time. So I stand in full support, as I know all other coaches and administrators do, in support of that 12th game, something that I spoke passionately about last year. I think there's a lot of reasons why that should happen, or could happen. And that would be an individual institution decision. But I think there's a lot of positives. And certainly there's challenges, any major overhaul of scheduling. But I do want to compliment the commissioner for taking the lead on that and bringing that to a nationwide type of discussion. But also, too, I think that as I've watched this game evolve and I've watched this conference evolve, we still have other challenges and issues, from student-athlete welfare to social issues and other things that I think as coaches that we have to address. And I know it's some things that I've talked to our team about already. But I can tell you this, that with the leadership that we have in Tom and his office at the conference level, I think our league is attacking these issues in a way that's growing the game, whether it be from instant replay to hosting the national championship concept in Frisco. But I also think that there are other issues out there that we need to address as an association, and I hope the media will continue to ask questions and to investigate and to be proactive to help us grow this game, because I'm not going to be up here too many more years. I mean, at some point I won't be here. I won't be seen. But the legacy that you've asked about these players, the legacy that I hope that we can leave is that we've grown the game to one that is better for the student athlete, it's better for fan experience, and certainly addresses some of the issues and social issues that we're facing in our times today. So I just wanted to, Tom, appreciate your leadership in your office, and certainly looking forward to another exciting season in the Southland Conference, and we hope to be able to do our damage as well.
Thank you, Coach. Coach and the student athletes will be available in the foyer for one-on-one opportunities.
Okay, thank you.
We will, our next session will